Overwatch competitive is absolutely broken. We're getting top 500 players playing against bronze. What is going on? This here is Evil Toaster. And by the way, I will explain what's going on in this video, guys. But I'm just going to show you some examples first. Evil Toaster, top 10 Orisa player. Quite well known for Orisa. Well, he's a tank player. He placed at 2,287. What's going on? So at this point, people are starting to think this must be an MMR reset. Check this out. Choyobin. Why am I meeting gold players at my rank? Choyobin plays for the San Francisco Shock. Essentially, the best team in the Overwatch League. What? This is Log, another high-level tank player. Look at his placement games. He's in bronze. He's actually in bronze, this player. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, what is going on there? So still, we're thinking, must be an MMR reset. Onigod, a ridiculously high-level player. This guy's a beast. Look at this. Second placement game, and I'm playing versus average rating 1800. What is going on? Okay, let's take a look at Cody then. So this is a clip from Cody's stream, and Cody's a GM player. You know, he's a really good player. Look at the profiles of the players when he's inspecting them. Check this guy out. So this guy's played a bit of competitive. He was Diamond last season. That seems a bit strange. Why would he be in a GM game? This player hasn't even played ranked. It's like, what is going on? So we are totally thinking at this point, Blizzard, the absolute mad lads, have gone out there and they have just reset competitive. They've reset MMR. Everyone's gone back to zero. What is going on? This is mental. They said they wouldn't do this. Hell, I made a video saying they wouldn't do this because Blizzard said they wouldn't do this, and then they've gone and done it. But check this out, because this confirms that it's absolutely broken. This is No Smite from the Hangzhou Spark, and check out his SR. For a start, he's in gold, which is obviously totally broken for an Overwatch League player, but he's got 2,356 there. Remember that number because he's got 5 won matches. So he goes away and he wins another game. Check this out. 2,358. He gained 2 SR for winning a match in gold. This confirms to us that Overwatch is broke. The MMR system is totally broke. And this is completely why we get one of the lead engineers of Overwatch come in and drop this bombshell on the Blizzard forums. Hey everyone, when Season 18 went live, matchmaking values from prior seasons weren't being respected. We're extending the Role Queue beta season while we work on a fix for this bug. We expect to be ready for Season 18 early next week. A side effect of extending the beta season is the competitive card will say the season is ending in less than a minute, which is true because yeah, this was me with some terrible acting as I tried to go and play competitive this morning. Beautiful. I think I'll play a little bit of the wonderful Overwatch Role Queue, which has just gone live. And, season ends in less than 1 minute? What's going on here? It's broke, guys. It's absolutely broke. Okay, so what does this mean for Overwatch competitive? Well, it just means that we have to play the Role Queue beta for a few more days, and then, yeah, then officially Season 18 will begin. But there's a more interesting conversation to have here, because this has given us a taste of what would happen if we had an MMR reset. An MMR is your hidden matchmaking rank, basically underneath your SR. So SR is like a visual representation. MMR is how good you are at the game, and this is Blizzard's system works this out based on, you know, how many eliminations you get and loads of stuff. It isn't just based off elims, it's damage, it's healing, it's literally everything as far as we know. But Blizzard would never tell us what this system prioritizes because then people would game the system. So it's a big secret, we don't know. Thing is though, everyone's got an MMR rating and your SR is kind of based off that. However, an MMR reset means everyone goes back to zero, and what that means is the system has no information on you. It doesn't know who you are. So this would be what would happen if, you know, when you get a Smurf in a game, or let's say somebody buys an Overwatch account, which would be crazy, but if you did it and then gave it to like your master level player, and it was a brand new account and it was like a silver, well, let's just say it was a silver ranked account and the master player plays on it, it's just the game's going to be broke, right? That's just ridiculous. That is essentially what happens when you get an MMR reset. Now, the argument is, well, it's only going to be bad for a week or so when the system works out where everyone should be, and then it will be fine. The thing is, though, that's actually really, really bad. You think of the number of Overwatch games that would be played in a week while it was trying to work this out, it would destroy the game. It would be really, really bad. So there's no way they would ever do an MMR reset, and we know this because Scott Mercer did come out and say, we're never going to reset the MMR because we have tried in the past where we've done these little tests where we've done these soft MMR resets at the start of seasons, and we've never really liked the results. So we're just never going to go down that path. The other thing as well is, why would Blizzard give up all of this information they've built up on you as a player? Because they have a profile of you. They know what heroes you play, they know what heroes you're good at, what heroes you're not good at, they know your SR for most heroes, and know what your MMR is. So why give that information up? Because they've literally got, when you think about it, 3 years of information on players, what they can use to put these players into games that will give them a better experience of Overwatch. You guys know I always say rank doesn't matter. And what that's about really when you get down to it is, yeah, it doesn't matter. What matters is having an enjoyable match. Because if you don't enjoy the game, you're not going to play Overwatch, so it doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter if you're going around like, oh yeah, I've got this rank, but your games are terrible because you're playing against people who are not of your rank. Now, on the flip side to this, again, there have been players coming out. This is on the official Blizzard forums, and this is also, I've seen this in various places on Twitter, for example, is people are saying, hey, I'm actually a gold level tank, but I'm having some of the best games I've ever had in my life because I'm being placed against people who are like high master or people who are like high diamond, and the matches are totally different because they're playing together as a team, and it's letting me play as a tank. In those cases, right, I honestly do think there are a lot of players out there in Overwatch who are stuck in ranks just because they're stuck. Maybe they're better. They play heroes which you can't necessarily carry on. And this has always been a big issue with Overwatch. It is difficult to carry. And normally what I say is you can only really carry in a game of Overwatch when you are like 2 divisions above in the match. So if you had a master player and they went into a plat game, the master player would be able to carry. It would be difficult to carry on tank, I'm not going to lie, and it'd also be difficult to carry on support. But in DPS, it'd be easier, but they'd have a better chance. The issue is that a tank player who might be hard stuck in gold, and people always meme about this and be like, oh yeah, hard stuck plat, hard stuck gold. I think it honestly is a thing. If you are a tank player and you're stuck at that level, you might have questionable healing, you might not have the best DPS, let's say, it might be really unorganized. Tank players need organization. You need your team to group up, you need them to go in when you engage as well. If you don't have that, it's super difficult. But I think if you give tank players that, there are players out there that suddenly can perform to a higher level and the game feels awesome to them. If you guys have been fans of the channel for a long time, you remember back when Overwatch came out, and I've always cited this as the best experience I've had playing the game. It was an ESL Go tournament. So this had no rank requirement. You could just build a team and go in and play. And the team we got to the semi-finals of this. Actually, I think a team of pro players won that, or current pro players now. But obviously, they were really good players back in the day. But our team had people from all over the ladder. Yet it was really, really good because we were coordinated and we were playing together. And this is the thing with Role Queue, right? We think Role Queue is going to make that easier because, well, you've already got a team built, so there's less toxicity. People can play together and whatnot. So we'll have to wait and see how that works. But the fact remains, hard stuck gold tank going into a game with a load of master players suddenly has a really good game because the supports are healing him, the team's grouping up together before it goes in, and the DPS are actually killing targets. That is a big question mark to me, and this is why certain heroes in Overwatch can be frustrating to play. Heroes like your main tanks, heroes like your supports as well. And then you look at heroes like your DPS, okay, you can kind of pop off with those to some extent and carry matches, but if you don't, well, yeah, I don't know. It is a complicated subject, but the fact remains, guys, this has shown us what would happen if a if an MMR reset dropped on the ladder. Now, there's been notable people who have been asking for this for a while, and I've always kind of thought it is a bit silly to want a rank reset because it's going to throw the game into disarray. But there are positives towards this, right? We're human beings. We all want a clean slate. I would like an MMR reset, which sounds stupid, right? Just because I've said I didn't want one, but I actually would kind of like it just because it would be nice to start again from fresh, because I could use what I've learned to build a new career profile. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people would like to do. I look at my history through my accounts. There have been seasons where, I'm in GM and it's great. Then there's been seasons where I finished in Diamond. It's like, well, that's not great. I don't want that on my profile, you think, right? So let me go back and just play the heroes I was good at to build a really good profile going forward into Role Queue. And you could argue that Role Queue, because it's coming out, competitive is completely different, totally remade. So it makes sense for us to have a clean slate, right? The thing is, though, the game has all this information and it knows where we should be as players. So we can't realistically expect them to reset MMR, and we know they won't. But I just wanted to throw that out there, guys, that there is a semi-legitimate argument for it. In my case, imagine if I just went back now and just played the heroes that maybe I knew I was good at. So I one-trick the hero. I mean, I actually, back in the day, I was totally against one-tricking because the point of Overwatch was you had to flex to build a team. That was the whole sort of the dream of the game, yeah? Where we got together as a team, we looked at what the enemy have got, then we change our team to beat the enemy. Unfortunately, it just turned out to be, well, I'm going to play this one hero and become so good at the hero, you can sort of beat meta comps and you can do all kinds of stuff. So you had like a lot of Genji mains, a lot of Tracer mains, and then there was me, who every match was flexing, maybe playing a tank, maybe playing a support. When really, what would have happened if I just sat down and no-lifed Tracer and just totally one-tricked it? Would I be a better player with a better rank? Would I be a better player? That's a question. You know what? I'll end the video on that. Would I be a better player through doing that? I don't know. One thing you've got to remember, guys, with the rank system in Overwatch is it cannot detect everything. There are things you will do as a player that are undetectable by the game. So if you're really good with communication, if you can make space as a tank, how can the game work that out? It literally cannot do that. It's only going to look at your wins, your losses, and some of your stats, I presume. It will not know that you have created space to allow your DPS to work, or that moment you played as D.Va and you peeled for your supports to keep them alive with a clutch defense matrix. It just cannot really do that, I guess. So there are going to be gaps in the way that the system works, but it's always going to be complicated. That's the thing. Anyway, guys, competitive is broke. It's not available right now. We expect it to be available early next week. And yeah, but this has been a really interesting sort of, like, it's been really interesting for me watching the community react to this, because you can see like the complaints are coming in really fast. So imagine if they did do an MMR reset, it would be nuclear. It would be absolutely nuclear. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, this unit lost. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are you disappointed that we don't actually have an MMR reset? I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Toodaloo.